Last month, June 24th to 26th, we were lucky enough to fly out to St. John's, Newfoundland for the Child and Youth Care World Conference, Healing Through Connections. Words can't describe how much we learn from the influential figures and mentors, so it's probably best if you hear a little bit of what we experienced to get the picture.
Somebody to lean on.
And you look at each other, just like we're about to do, aren't you? Just like you look at each other and start to laugh. You're laughing so hard, and after a while, your belly starts to hurt, and you turn away, going, stop, stop, stop. You catch your breath, and you turn back, and it bursts all over again. We're connected together inside the experience. And that's what the relationship.
I first met Kim when she visited the NACCW offices in South Africa 12 years ago. During that visit, the child, our immediate connection, was a poster in our office of the Circle of Courage. And it's well known to all of you, the Child and Youth Care framework that's rooted in Indigenous Native American wisdom developed by Larry Bentro and Martin Brokenleg. Kim's prior engagement with Indigenous knowledge systems in Canada had already attuned her to its significance, and she immediately recognized its resonance within South African context.
Webinars for our own specialized community, using our CYC language and be able to do it in a time-effective and cost-effective way. So it's always being 2-hour webinars. It's always being tips, tricks, and strategies that you can put into your practice the next day. As well, very affordable, between, I think I started out at $40 and now I'm at $50 an hour. Unless your organization is a partner with CYC Assets, then you get a 20% discount.
Allergy and catering, our young man at his graduation. Tando here is a film and television production qualification, and that's our chef too. So very diverse different qualifications. Right? We weren't saying this is what people need to do, right? We would have the woodworker, we would have the media person, we'd have the chef, right? We'd have the businessman, because this is how you get to know the young people individually and help them with their pathway.
Critical role that you play. The work happening in child and youth care, in mental health, in education, in community services, it all has a lasting impact on individuals, on families, and of course on communities right across Newfoundland and Labrador, and as you proved here today, far beyond Canada.
Just hanging in and hanging out, as we all talk about so commonly, why is that so effective? And can we actually look at that stuff inside of the brain to know that there's information that can help us to do a better job at hanging in and hanging out? If we understand the way the brain functions and interacts with the people and the various environments in which those people live.
And I really believe that, because the math is clear, the physics has been worked out. What we do is work, as Paul Baker so well said, is with shaping the human brain. That is far more complex than anything else that humanity's had to deal with, I think. Maybe the environment is close. Understanding the world around us in its totality. But understanding a child in his or her totality is probably the next most complicated thing that humanity has to do.
Yeah, Chuck Finlan once said to me that, we think we know why kids go to school, but it's not for the education, right? And that's what us adults think. And it's the same with
A group of alien psychiatrists who are afraid that if they answer the question of why, there will be nothing left for psychiatrists to do. And over the last 3 days, we've been wandering in the territory of the why.